Number 2 was from Rosemary Moscarelli, who says, this is a great question, what combination of virtues do you think voters at large would find irresistible in a candidate for president? Christie appears to have it for New Jersey. Should that scare us if he runs in 2016? Yes, it should scare us quite badly, I think. I just want to make sure I don't have anything coming up that's going to contradict or double step on what I'm about to say here. Okay. I was having a talk with Jeremy about this earlier today, about Christie winning, and he's going to be the people that the establishment Republicans are going to try and foist on us in 2016 to run against Hillary Clinton. And it comes back to the new Coke argument, right? What's the argument here? Is the argument saying that, well, gee, if we run Christie, we'll pick up Democrats? You're not going to pick up Democrats against Hillary Clinton. You're not going to pick up anybody. All you're going to do is you're going to guarantee that your own team doesn't show up. It's like your quarterback. It's like your quarterback throwing interceptions all day because you want the other guys to come over to your team. It doesn't matter. They're not going to come over to our team. Throwing interceptions to their receivers is not going to make some of them drop their jerseys and come over to their team because you're throwing them the ball so much. They want to intercept the ball. They want us to lose. They want us to lose, and they want us to lose, and they want us to lose. It's not like you can be nice to them by pampering them or saying, we're kind of like you here. Here, I'm going to throw a ball right at you, run it back in for a touchdown. See how much we like you? No. You have to throw the ball to our receivers. You got to get more points than them. Christie can't compete against Hillary Clinton. What's he going to do? Is he going to be more in favor of abortion than her? Is he going to be in favor of more handouts than her? Why doesn't he just run for her vice president and put an end to it? The person that can win this election coming up, the next one and the last one and the one before that, is the person that can get in front of the American people and do what I said a few moments ago, that the genius that Adolf Hitler had in terms of his ability to understand how one worldview replaces the other. The first thing you have to do is you have to steal their flag. You're going to have to steal their flag. What's their flag? Their flag is compassion. They're compassion. They're compassion. We're the mean people. They're the nice people. We're the good people. They're the good people. We're the bad people. No, we got to steal the flag. You got to steal that red flag, and their red flag is we're the ones that care. We have to get out there and show that we're the ones that care. We have to go and show people that caring about people means doing the right thing by them, not keeping them on a plantation as slaves forever. You get me in front of these people, and they'll say, well, the Democratic Party is the largest holder of slaves in history. They have 30 million slaves now, these Democrats. How dare you say that? How dare you say that? How dare you? How dare you criticize me for saying it when we both know it's true? How dare you hold these people as slaves to the government for 3 generations now? How dare you? How dare you? You take the moral high ground and you do it. Boom. It's just that simple. You just do it. Just take the moral high ground from them and you run with it. You steal their flag and see how they like it. They won't know what to do. Everything we do, every rational, logical plan we have, every rational argument, every single possible historical case for our actions in the past, and every single plank of conservatism has to be sold to the American people as the compassionate thing to do for other people. It is the good thing for them to do. It's the morally correct. It's the economically correct. It's the spiritually correct. It's the right thing to do to other people. It's done out of compassion. It's done out of wanting everybody to live this way. It's done out of the history of what works and what doesn't. It's what happens. You have to just steal their flag and not let them have this moral high ground and not have them be the good guys and not have us be the bad guys. And when somebody says, how can you dare say, how dare you say that the Democratic Party holds these people as slaves after all we've done for them? All you've done for them? What have you done for them? What have you done for Black America? You've given them a 40% unemployment rate for teenagers. You've basically destroyed their families. You've utterly destroyed their families. You've taken away the fundamental human spark that makes us different from herd animals. You've taken away their self-reliance, their independence, and their self-respect. That's what you've done. That's what your policies have done. Lyndon Johnson said he's going to have these N-words voting for us for 200 years. That's exactly what you did. You stole them. You stole their independence, and you keep them on a plantation, and you harvest votes from them once every 2 years. You are miserable, low-life, disgusting people who would rather have people suffer for their entire lives so long as you can get their vote. Period. What do you mean, how dare I? How dare you? We're talking about liberating these people again. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about liberating people from their dependency on you. You guys are drug addicts. You cocaine sellers. You're crack dealers is what you are. You give people something to shoot up their arm, and then they just sit there in a coma. And as long as they give you their bales of votes every 2 years, you're just as happy as you can be. Miserable lowlifes. Horrible people. Horrible. And you're doing it for the worst reasons of all. You're doing it for personal political power and gain because you understand that you people cannot make it out there in the business world. You cannot compete against people who can do things better than you. And so you use the law and the coercive power of the government and their guns to get your way because you could never, ever, ever, ever do this out in the world of free choice. Not in a million years. You couldn't be successful businessmen. You couldn't be successful anything. You can't persuade people that your idea is the best, so you have to legislate it. You have to make it law. You have to basically criminalize and demonize the people who disagree with you because you're so bad at everything you do. That's how you win. So, no. You got Chris Christie be the worst thing that happened to us. I will campaign against him. I will. I think Chris Christie gave Barack Obama the election. I think Chris Christie putting his arm around him 2 days before the vote and saying, what an awesome job this president is doing of handling this storm crisis. Thanks, Chris. Thanks a lot. I'll campaign against him. I will. I will vote for Hillary. If it comes down to Hillary Clinton and Chris Christie, and I had to cast a vote, and I had to cast a vote for one of them, I'd vote for Hillary Clinton. If I'm going to have a patronizing, uptight, lunatic, narcissist, control freak telling me what to do, then I'd rather it be one of theirs. I'd rather it be one of theirs. Honestly. Leave us alone. And if somebody, if I'm arguing healthcare with Hillary Clinton in 2016 up on a platform somewhere, and Hillary Clinton says, here's my plan for healthcare. What's your plan for healthcare? My plan for healthcare, Madam Clinton, is to let people make up their own minds. I happen to think that a person can run their household better than Hillary Clinton can run their household. I think I run my household better than Hillary Clinton runs my household, and I think most people out there in the country think they can do a better job of running their own families and their own lives and their own shopping lists than you can. Why don't you tell me what's wrong with you emotionally? Emotionally, what's wrong with you that makes you feel that you can make better decisions for other people's lives than those people? Do you actually genuinely think you're that much smarter and better than them? Can you possibly be that full of ego, honestly, to believe that you know what's better for somebody else's family than they do? My God, woman. Seriously? You're running in a democracy, in a republic? Why don't you simply proclaim yourself empress? That's the job you want, obviously. You want to be able to just dictate for other people. My plan for the American people is to get as many obstacles to them making their own free choices out of the way as we possibly can. You want a health care plan? Shop around. My job is to make sure that there's nothing in the way of people offering you the lowest possible prices for that health care. That's it. That's all. My job is to make sure that no one's using the law to artificially keep up prices, because if everybody is competing to get you the best care for the lowest price, then you are going to get the best care for the lowest price. And I'm not running to tell you how to do it, but she is. I'm not running to tell you what decisions to make, but she is. I'm not running to tell you what you're going to have to buy and not buy, but she is. My philosophy is you're a smart, intelligent person and you're free. And you have a right to be told nothing. You don't work for me. I'm not your boss. I work for you. I do what you say. You don't have to listen to me. I don't have to listen to her. She's not my boss. Hillary Clinton doesn't boss. She's got no authority over me. And she doesn't have any authority over you either. Why don't you just leave people alone and give them as many choices as they can? I'm pro-choice, Mrs. Clinton. I'm in favor of Americans making as many choices as they possibly could have. Why won't you leave people alone? I think we should be left alone. Oh, you're pro-choice, are you? What's your position on abortion? My position on abortion is that those babies ought to be left alone too. I think those children that are trying to come into this world need to be left alone. That's my opinion. There you go. I'm the pro-choice candidate. I think those kids should have a choice about whether they enter the world or not either. But we can disagree about that. My idea is coercion is bad and coercion is evil. So I don't want to coerce anybody into anything. I think everybody should be able to make up their own minds about what they want to believe. And the reason that Hillary Clinton and the rest of the Democratic Party are so dead set against this idea is because every time people have a free choice, they always choose the right thing. They always choose the smart thing. They choose the best thing for themselves. And every single time they do it, it means that those people are out of a job. They're out of a job. I don't want this job. I had a good job. I was making a ton of money. I was happy as I could be. I'm only here because there's no one else who seems to be able to do this job as well as I can. And believe me, if I did find somebody who's better at this job than I will, I'd be out of here tomorrow. If you think this is fun to stand here and listen to people gassing on and on and on and on and on and on about how we're going to do this for you and how we're going to do that for you and we're going to tell you how to do this and we're going to tell you how to do that, no, I want to be left alone. I want to go barbecue. I want to have some fun. But no, now I have to stand up here to try and defend myself against you because, frankly, Madam Clinton, I've realized that the only way I can defend myself against you telling me what to do is for me to run for president. That's the only way. That's all I've got left. You won't leave me alone. You won't leave anybody alone. We try to go someplace else, you follow us. We try to take our kids out of your schools and your indoctrination centers. Guess what? You put the indoctrination to follow us. I've come to realize, ma'am, that the only way that I can stop you from messing up my personal life is for me to run for president of the United States. You think about the level of absurdity of that? Can you realize how silly and absurd and ultimately disgraceful that is? In a country founded on the idea of freedom, the only way for people to be left free now is for them to run for president against the likes of you? Wow. Man alive. I know you skateboarders out there think that she's the cool one because she's a Democrat and she's a woman and all that other stuff, but there's one person here who's going to tell you what kind of helmet you can wear and how steep that grade on your slope is going to be, and there's going to be one person who's going to tell you that you're going to have insurance before you get into that double tube, and then people are going to tell you all these other things, and it's not me, I don't care. I want you to go out and have fun. If you get hurt, then you're going to have to take care of your own hospital bills, but I don't care. But she does. She's going to tell you exactly how many helmets you have to wear. And if you think it's just one helmet, you're wrong. You're going to have to wear 13 or 14 helmets, and you're going to have to be certified, and they're all going to have to come up to standards, and OSHA's going to be involved. There's going to be slopes. There's going to be rules. They're going to put a GPS tracker in your skateboard. They're going to tax you by the number of awesome air grabs that you get, because that's what they do. That's what they do. They can't leave anything alone. There's something wrong with them. They're crazy. So no, I'm not in favor of Chris Christie.